Okay, I've been wanting to create a video like this for a while, so let's go ahead and jump right in. The first thing that I want to point out is that I'll be using a COPIC .2 multiliner, and this marker has a nice thin tip, and the ink here is designed to hold up to the alcohol markers that you'll see me use later in this sketch. Okay, now as I start to draw out my primary shapes for this sketch, I want to use this video to talk about the things that I wish I knew sooner before I started sketching. The first one is more advice than anything, but don't put up barriers for yourself to draw. What I mean by that is that oftentimes we make excuses or find ways to push off getting better. Maybe you don't have that expensive pen or you don't own a sketchbook, but whatever it is, it seems like excuses come easier than actually drawing. The truth is, you don't need expensive materials to create art. In fact, one of my favorite utensils to use is the number 2 pencil. The next thing is that perfection is a roadblock to progress. When I was younger, I was so determined to make all of my art look perfect. I'd spend hours trying to get it just right, and I would constantly scrap my work and start over. Oftentimes, I would just get frustrated and give up completely. All of this just slowed down my learning. Instead of aiming for perfection, expect to make mistakes. Finish those drawings that you normally would scrap. Challenge yourself to draw quickly, and don't give yourself time to try to be perfect. Now, another piece of advice that I never followed as a beginner was to create small tests before you jump into anything larger. I would constantly make the mistake of starting a project only to find out that I was using the wrong materials or that I got the scale wrong or a number of things that caused me more pain in the end. For example, these sketches I'm working on right now require my pen to be alcohol marker proof. And it also requires that my paper hold up to the alcohol markers. Now, testing things like, does your pen smudge, or do your markers or watercolors warp the paper, or how do your colors blend? It takes a few seconds to test your materials to make sure you know what to expect. In fact, this is something that I still struggle with. I am the type of person that likes to jump in and start drawing. In my last video, I proved the need to test things before you start drawing. In that video, you'll see me overblend my markers, which is a mistake that I could have avoided with a little bit of testing. Another tip is to practice what you're bad at, or simply put, practice in general. When I was younger, all I wanted to do was to create these elaborate finished drawings because that was what I was drawn to. It was other people's elaborate works that got me into drawing. What I didn't do was I didn't take the time to practice the things that I was bad at. I wouldn't draw a page of gesture sketches. I wouldn't draw a page of windows, a page of textures, or facial expressions. I would just jump right in and try to draw a complete scene with no experience. Give yourself practice challenges to complete. For example, fill your page with 20 sketches of a cup, but each sketch is from a different angle or perspective, or whatever you need to improve. Similar to the previous tip, you should start small and work your way up to a larger sketch. For example, instead of jumping right into an entire scene, start by drawing the scene really small, maybe 1 inch by 1 inch. This is a technique that I learned from design school for creating logos, but I think it translates really well into sketching. You see, by starting small, you can only add so much detail. So you're focusing on the major components, and it's forcing you to see the primary shapes, the shapes that really matter to make up your scene. Then, follow that up with a slightly larger version of the sketch, maybe 2 inches at most. This gives you more room to experiment with adding detail and making decisions of which detail to leave in and which detail to leave out. And then when you're ready, move on to your final sketch. You'll discover that this process helps you work out what elements are necessary. Okay, the next tip is to start with your simple, broad shapes first and not the details. While the previous tip does address this, I want to elaborate more on why you shouldn't draw the detail first. When I was younger, I would find the details more fun to draw, so I would focus on that. So I'd find myself spending most of my time on maybe just one area of my sketch, adding all of the detail, before I would address the rest of the drawing. Now, this made it difficult to control my proportions, and my scale was always off. I found it difficult to control my sketch, and the reason was that I was not blocking out my entire scene first. I also went through drawing fatigue. Since I spent so much time trying to draw a small area of detail, I'd get lazy by the time I got to the rest of my drawing. What I should have done is I should have started broad and worked my way down to the detail, trying to balance the details that I'm adding so that my entire scene feels consistent. Speaking of blocking out your drawing, another thing that I never did as a beginner was to use a pre-sketch to block out my general shapes. Now, you're not going to see me use a pre-sketch for these drawings because these are, in essence, sketches themselves, but when starting a larger drawing, I used to jump right into the drawing, and I would ignore creating loose, broad pencil sketches that help me work out that perspective and scale. In my mind, I felt like those lines would just mess up my drawing, which was the perfectionist in me. Okay, another good tip that I didn't understand as a beginner is that the pencil and pen are two different utensils and should not be used the same way. When I started drawing with pens or markers, I would fall into the trap of trying to use them the same way that I would use a pencil. With a pencil, you can get away with being a little more scratchy with your line work, as well as a little broader with your shading. A pen is a little different, it's cleaner, and you need to draw more confidently with it, using deliberate strokes. Okay, I'm going to share a few additional tips that I wish I knew I was a beginner in a little bit more of a rapid-fire format. Practice still life drawing. But instead of using an actual reference, use a photo reference. Photos will flatten the entire image and make it easier to see perspective and scale. Keep scrap paper nearby along with your sketchbooks. Sometimes you don't want to waste the page of a sketchbook, and that's where your scrap paper comes in handy. Start rotating your sketchbook as you draw. Your hand and wrist can only bend one way, so you're going to find it easier to draw lines at certain angles than others. Rotate that sketchbook so that your hand is at the most comfortable position to draw those lines. Don't draw every detail you see. Instead, try to draw only enough lines to suggest that detail. I think of it this way. If I draw a dashed line, everyone can read that as a line, even though it'll be missing half of the line work. Okay, as I wrap up the drawing, I wanted to share the one best piece of advice that took me the longest to learn, which is that you will always be the worst critic of your work, so don't let yourself get in the way of your progress. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your favorite piece of advice is.